I got told I could only board the flight without my baby. This is how our dream holiday to Greece turned into a little bit of an airport nightmare. So to rewind a little, if you've been following me, you know I recently caught my daughter's stomach bug. And as a mum with emetophobia, that was already traumatic enough. But to make it even more worse, it meant that I couldn't go on our family holiday when planned. Even though I did feel better by the flight date, it hadn't been 48 hours yet, and I didn't want to risk passing it on to my family, other passengers, or anyone at the hotel. But thankfully, we were able to move our flights later in the week. But this is where it all went wrong. So the flights were originally booked under my dad's name because he booked the tickets and we were all traveling together. So this meant that trying to change the flights for us but not for him was quite difficult, and somehow in the process, when the booking got changed, my daughter's boarding pass just disappeared. She wasn't on my dad's flight, she wasn't on our flight, she wasn't on any flight. So we had only a couple of days to try and get this sorted, and we were in contact with British Airways. What was making us a little bit worried is that there was no confirmation anywhere that she had a ticket or a boarding pass, not on the app, not on an email confirmation. We actually ended up calling British Airways 5 times and actually messaging them 2 times, and they said, trust us, it will all be fine. We just need to check her in. She's in the system. They said, we just need to go into the airport in person and it'll all sort out. So 4 a.m. at Gatwick, we're ready to go, and surprise, surprise, our daughter's not allowed on the plane. And after an hour in check-in and my daughter absolutely screaming the airport down and almost missing our flights, we finally were handed a boarding pass for the return. Problem solved, we were told. As long as we just hand them this boarding pass, when we're at the airport in Greece trying to get home, everything will be fine. As we know, when people say everything's going to be fine, it turns out it is indeed not fine. Coming home, we hit the exact same nightmare, and you know what? This time it was a little bit more scary because the idea of being stuck in a foreign country, yeah, it's stressful. Because obviously we're not going to board the flight without our daughter. Time was really running out this time. This airport was a lot more smaller. There was a lot more queues for everything. And yeah, stress levels through the roof. Telling myself, worst case scenario, we'd get another flight and a hotel. But it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. Finally, the staff from Greece contacted the staff from British Airways in the UK. They gave confirmation. We were fast-tracked through security and we made it on the plane. Retrospectively, it was such a small inconvenience compared to the once-in-a-lifetime holiday that we had, and I am so thankful that despite the illness I was still able to go on it. I would love to know how we could avoid that happening again. Obviously, I hope that we won't be delaying or moving flights if we ever go on holiday again in the future, but any tips would be appreciated.